At exactly 1:17, Tatavi dire 1:18 on DUMA FM, more talk, more music, emotionally and physically in sync. O tenga kwa Tshidi Wyllie meretsana ka gangwe mo go tsone. Tumela Tshidi.
Hello, Lerato.
Are you well, Tshidi?
I'm blessed.
Hey,
it's
been
2 weekends.
It feels like ages. It feels like years.
Yeah.
I see me.
Hey, I'm back.
Yeah.
I'm recovering.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I lost 2 of my brothers to COVID-19. So Corona is out there.
Yeah.
So that's why I've been away. By the grace of God, life moves on.
I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry for your loss. I get. I am modin na jana ha bitse gore tota bile le motho mara wa reng.
Yeah, true.
Me hala ke ra gore modimo tla re tshwara ka letsogo tla re ntsha mo dikganyeng tsena gore re iphitlhela re le mo tsone.
Grief and loss is a process. It takes time to heal.
But do you heal though? Can you just accept?
The pain wears away with time, and you finally accept that the person you loved has moved on and is no more with you. And initially, when you think about them, you'll be breaking, you'll be crying, it will be painful. But with time, you think about them, you remember the good times, and you remember the good things about them, and you begin to look at their pictures and even smile and even say, well, we'll meet one day. Yeah. Because nobody lives forever. We all are going to live someday. But spiritually, you live. The spirit lives.
Yeah, it lives on. Mo biking e fitile ma Wyllie ke ne ke na le beng ba le babedi ha ne ke na le gape makwati ene le Barbara Dipuka mo leboge ne re bua ka self awareness gore me re le bana na ra ikitse. So I want us to continue that conversation. Tota go re tsene mo go yone ma Wyllie gore
self-awareness is so broad. We talked about different personalities and different ways, and communication is equally part of self-awareness. Because you will not be able to know how best to communicate and who you really are and how communication impact on your relationship with other people. That is why, as much as it's also part of self-awareness, assertiveness, which is a major component, a core skill, communication. It's part of self-awareness.
Awesome stuff. Mo biking e fitileng ebile gantse ke gakologela sentle ke ne ka ba botsa dipotso tse ke ne ka ba botsa about 3 concepts tse leng gore usually re na re di abbreviator ka PAA, being passive, being aggressive, and being assertive. Kopa ma Wyllie yanong wena o etse yanong ka ka kitso ele ya gago ya go romantshitshidi o mankge in this area. Please kindly take us through these concepts. What's assertiveness, what's aggressiveness, and what's passiveness?
Though I was away, not in the studio, I was paying attention to the discussion. It was an awesome discussion. I have to say, some of them really understand who they are, what they like, what they don't want, their rights, their needs, how to articulate what they want, and how to say no to certain things, and not just say yes to everything, and not to be pressurized by their peers. Assertiveness or power, as you mentioned it, which is passive, aggressive, and assertive behavior patterns. These are behavior patterns. We call them power. It's the way in which we conduct ourselves, the way in which we behave, the way that our behavior, we come to be known to be this particular person. O passive, o submissive. O leng gore ga ke a emela se leng gore o dumela mo go sone sa se batang ha khone le go bua ha go express family fairly. It is important for us to be aware of who we are. Because like I'm saying, when you know who you are, you know what you want out of life. And when you are aware of that, you become aware of the fact that your behavior influences your relationship with other people.
Yeah.
Ka ha o itsholang ka teng go ama ka ha o tsewang ka teng ke batho ba bang le ka ha o interactang ka teng o dirisanyang ka teng le batho ba bang.
Yeah.
It is important therefore to be able to say a ke motho ke passive o eleng gore ke submissive hela ga nke ke emela ditshwanno tsame o se ke se batang mo botshelong o eleng gore things happen to me, I'm just there and allowing things to happen to me without me standing up and saying I want things to be done this way or not that way.
Yeah.
Because when we know who we are, let me take people who are passive, for example. If ole motho passive, you're submissive, o se kang a expressa sa se batang le ha ka tswa ile gore ga o batle selo se diragala o dilo di buiwa o sa dumalane le tsone o palwa le ke go expressa go bua gore no na se sona ga ke dumalane le sona ba bana because o tshaba gore batho ba ta reng. But that has some negative impact on your well-being. Because it means many a times you say yes even when tota you want to be saying no. You outside you may say yes, like what's a little you know you have a schedule you know you have a lot of things on your desk. Once it's on a lead deadline you say yes. In the meantime you are going around disgruntled and angry and expressing bitterness and anger and unexpressed anger because really yes me tota no sa re yes puru mahoko a gago a hela harologana le maikutlo a gago mo teng e bila harologana le ditiro tsa gago kana you can say yes and end up doing nothing. Then why did you have to say yes to something that you knew very well that you were not willing to be doing? That is why re hella re nna le ditlamorago tsa gore e be re na le depression, bitterness, re nna le what we call psychosomatic ailments, re nna le bo blood pressure, bo stomach ulcers, chronic headaches, and this can lead to bigger health conditions or health issues. Ka gore o dumelana le dilo tse ileng gore mo teng ga gago ga o dumelane le tsone go tsowa go morago ka go wa go tsamaya o ngwe re ga gore o bolaisiwa tiro o imetswa eng go a reng le mo malepeng go a diragala whereby somebody just agreed dira se nna no bore mme gone tota mo teng o sa re and it's the same as being passive aggressive when you are inside of you angry and not agreeing and disagreeing and not willing to do what is being asked of you and yet on the outside you have said so what do you do usually? How yes I'll do that when you are not into the thing.
You don't act.
You don't act. You don't act.
And
that creates a lot of conflict between us and other people. It's like being unhappy and not willing to say what you want and what you really your needs are. And in the meantime, what you do is inside of you, angry, upset, or you may be saying you're not upset. How would you how are you worried? I'm okay, I'm fine. But your body language is telling me that
it tells otherwise.
Okay. And then I'm trying to engage with you and you are answering in one way or the other. Oh, I'm sorry, when you don't really mean you are sorry. And then when you say you are sorry, when you don't really mean it, when you are not sorry, when you say, okay, whatever, that kind of language shows passive aggressiveness. It also shows that you are really not into what you are saying, but you don't want to be saying it out. And we are saying these things are important, but most importantly, it's critical to have assertiveness. Why is it important? Why could it be important to be able to express who you are, what you want, what you don't want, stand up for your needs, standing up for your rights, standing up for what you want. Kana haole passive wa re wena ga o botlhokwa batho ba bang ba botlhokwa. You are in other words with your attitude. This is a behavior pattern and it becomes a pattern if it happens more often, and that is what you are and you have come to be known to be that person. Eleng gore nako le nako o nna o dumelana le se se diragalang mme se gore tota wa dumelana ga o kgone go ikemela o bua. Mme motho wa assertive stands up for their needs. They express what they want without violating other people's rights and needs. Gore you know that you have rights, but you also know that this other person, now these other people I'm engaging with, they also have needs and rights.
Yeah.
You speak up for what you believe without hurting other people in the process.
Yeah.
You put your point across fairly, and yet with empathy.
Emma.
O itse gore la ke buana lerapo lene o na le
o na le maikutlo.
lene o na le ka tsaya ka tswang a batla gore di dirwe. Being able to express is important. It's part of communication.
Ke botlhokwa Wyllie ga botlhokwa ha go ntse yalo you are being aggressive. Ke botlhokwa Wyllie le ene o botlhokwa. That's being assertive.
That's being assertive.
A re tsa duo tse pedi tsena gona le gore be ke re nna ke le Thabiso ke botlhokwa ke a ikitse gore ke batlaeng mme jaanong gape at the same time ga ke re ke gele maikutlo a ga leti copy ne. But where do you now draw the line between, you know, being assertive and being aggressive? How do you differentiate between the two things?
There is a very thin line between these two. An aggressive person stands for what they need. They stand for their rights. They stand for their want. They express themselves for what they believe in and what they want. The difference between them and an assertive one, what they want, their behavior is anchored on self-centeredness and selfishness and self-entitlement. They don't care about what the other person wants and needs. They become oblivious to the fact that another person also has needs, wants, and rights. Ba itebelela ba le nosi ga ba rekegele maikutlo a batho a bangwe ba dirisa dikgoka le go ikgakapella ba sena sepe gore wena wa re o batla eng gore what I want I must get. If I'm an aggressive person, what they want they believe they must get that at all costs, regardless of gore mang o feel yang, o utlwalega yang, o tsega yang, o behave yang. They wouldn't care about another person. Mo ditirisanong tsa bone ke ka ga bone hela gore bone ba batla eng. And this creates a lot of tensions and conflict between people, because ha ile gore ga ke te go batla go reetsa wena gore re etsanye gore ke bone gore wena ka se ke buang ka sone se go tsaya yang wena dikeletso tsa gago ke eng mo go se, so that le wena dikeletso tsa gago le se o se batang le sone le maikutlo a gago a rekegelo, then I'm not assertive. I am aggressive. Because an assertive person will stand up for what they want, for their needs, for their rights, and express them assertively, fairly, being empathetic, knowing that motho mo na le maikutlo hela ka ke na le maikutlo ke na le ditshwanelo ke na le se ke se batang batho ba bang le bone ba na le one, so I accord the same treatment to the other person if I'm assertive. Ke rekegela maikutlo a batho ba bang le dikeletso tsa batho ba bang, but ga ke la aggressive ga ke na sepe gore wena le wena o botlhokwa. When an aggressive person says attitude ya gagwe, behavior attitude ya gagwe ke reng I'm important and you are not, ke botlhokwa wena ga o sepe, wena ga ke go rekegele se ke se batang ke tshwanetse ke nne le sone whether mangwe a rata kana ga a rata. And then the tendency is to manipulate others and to be coercive and to be bullying people and to be pushy. That's how they come across. And therefore, if you behave like that, do you think that will bring peace? Do you think that will bring calmness? Do you think that will hokaga? Ga wa ke ga batho ba bang gore ba retse o ba utlwe gore ba lla ka eng, di tsa bone ke eng, dikeletso tsa bone ke eng, ditshwanno tsa bone tsa reng, and then le wena o bo okay ke a luta jaanong mme keletso ya me le yone ke a re lebeleleng dio tse tsote gore you strive at a win-win. An assertive person strives at achieving a win-win situation, not a win-lose. If it's a win-lose, for our nna ke tshwanetse gore ke nne ke wina ka nako tsotlhe lona le latlhegelwe ka nako tsotlhe le se ka la boelwa ke sepe mme go mo, whether it's in leadership, whether it's ko lapeng, whether it's ke ko mo ditseleng hela mo re leng teng, if we don't pay attention to these, we'll create conflict in our very peaceful nation, in our very peaceful families, in our very peaceful communities. And then passive ones will just allow things to happen without expressing that we are not happy. In the meantime, we are disgruntled and we are gossiping, we are hostile, we are upset. Eventually we turn that unhappiness and everything else into ourselves, into self-blame and negativity. That is toxic. That is not healthy. That will affect our mental well-being as batho, as human beings, in any setting.
Yeah. Share a little na mo WhatsApp line ya rona ya 76281885 o ka romela a WhatsApp voice note kgotsa an SMS mo 16616 16616 kgotsa o ka re letsa mo 3500131 3500131 re utlwa gore wena mme mo bathong ba ba raro ba ileng gore re ntse re bua ka bone hana o wela hakae mme le gone gore ha o iphitlhela le gore gongwe you are assertive mme o tshela le batho ba ileng gore they are aggressive. How do you deal with such people? I'm going to be taking your calls on the other side of Thomas Chilume and O'Neil James. I need you to stay. You see, sometimes people do things to other people, they were aggressive to them. Me, with them being aggressive, they and you know what, I'm going to leave this toxicity. I need you to stay.
The person will come and say,
Yeah.
I am sorry.
Yeah.
But then next time they do the same thing, and they keep on saying, coming back to you and saying, I am sorry.
Yeah.
Then that is a challenge.
Here's Thomas Chilume and O'Neil James called Need You to Stay 3500131762818885 Hosa 16616.
More talk, more music.
We've I don't wanna fight.
SMS line 7628.
It's called Need You to Stay. Thomas Chilume on O'Neil James Modume FM More Talk More Music. Ibua ka batho ba bangwe ba ileng gore mo botshelong they are very 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 passive. And mo di ka ba tshelang le rona ka teng go dira gore ebe re batla go tsama me ha re sa nne re tsama ba re kopa gore I need you to be here. 35001313 350013 76281885 kgotsa 16616 ke gone go ileng gore o ka buisana le rona o ka re tshwara teng re bue gore wena mme gone o iphitlhela o le hakae go na le potso engwe ke Wyllie ke batla gore be re tla ke go ilebisa ga ke sena ne ke dira jana utlwa re tshware da
FM talk line 3500131
or alternatively send us a WhatsApp voice note to
6281885
kana o ka re tshwara mo 16616 ke gone go ileng gore o ka re romela an SMS thing potso ke gore go ile ka kwana Wyllie gore re le batho re tshela le batho ba harologaneng mme ga reng ga batho ba ba ile gore tshela le bone ke ba passive ne motho wa botsa o tshela jang le batho ba ntseng jana o ba thusa jang batho ba ileng gore ba passive ba ipona ba le nosi gore be ba kgone go itse gore ba tshela le batho ba bangwe ba fetoge ba nne assertive.
A passive person is a submissive person. Ke motho o se kang a expressa tota boteng ja gagwe sa se batang. A emela se sa se tlhokang. Ke motho e leng go na le attitude e reng I'm not important, other people are more important.
Yeah.
Ka attitude. Me a sa bui yalo. Gore ga o feel gore ga a botlhokwa batho ba bang ba botlhokwa jang in the sense that o tsisa dikeletso tsa batho pele ga tsa gagwe o tla re ke tla dira senanne mme tswa le gore tota ga a batle go dira so sa go nna le ga a kgone go bua boammaaruri ga a kgone go thamalala hela re no ga nka ke ka kgona o nya ke a gana ga ke batle go dira jalo o na le boboi o submissive. There are issues of esteem there, which leads to people being passive. Yeah, I'm describing you is an aggressive person.
Yeah.
Well, ga re ke gele maikutlo a gago. Me le gongwe le motho o tshelang le wena. O batla gore e dua dikeletso le thato ya gagwe hela. Gore ena sa lebelle gore le wena o na le dikeletso, o na le ditshwanelo, o na le so se batla mo botshelong. That kind of person needs help. To me, I would say they need to a situation where you create a dialogue gore ba khona go lemoga gore behavior ya bone e go affecta ya. Don't target the person, target the behavior or communication. In a way that you express how that kind of behavior is impacting on your own emotions and on your own feeling. I'll say with a lot of creating awareness on them with time, if it really is not linked to the type of personality disorders, such on a level narcissistic personality, that person will turn around, will start realizing, okay, give us me Thabiso obatase, so rekakopana ra compromise, ra create a win-win situation, meet each other halfway.
Is it possible for one to have the all the attributes, to be passive, to be aggressive, and to be assertive at the same time? Because I feel like I have elements of all the three.
Passiveness is not on its own a bad thing. There are situations in life where you look at the situation you are dealing with and realizing it's not worth standing up for this. You are submitting in that situation, right? But there are times when you may feel this requires me to stand up for what I want, depending on what the situation is. So for you to be saying, I find myself sometimes being passive, being assertive, and being aggressive. Yes, there are times where there's need for you to stand up aggressively, firmly, fairly, for what you believe. But in doing that, be aware that there are people's emotions. What scenarios can we give in a situation like this, where aggressiveness may come handy? Are you just going to let that happen and lay back and because you are passive and not do something to fight to prevent them from coming to your house? You will see that aggressive element or attitude or behavior coming up to protect what belongs to you, right? But there are times when the aggressiveness may not be necessary. Here we're discussing where these three behavior patterns have become part and parcel of who you are regardless of the situation. Where you remain submissive no matter the situation calling for you to stand. Where you remain aggressive no matter the situation requiring calmness and for you not to be aggressive. It's just that there's a tendency to associate aggressiveness with violence. People think is one and the same thing. You can aggressively stand for what you believe without being violent. There's a difference there.
More emotionally and physically in sync with the Ministry of Youth Empowerment, the Ministry of Youth Empowerment and Sports and Culture Development, Bozona National Youth Council, Moscalebala, Yoka Plus for free online counseling, free on the call counseling, or Letza Milka 17270 Monday to Friday from 6 a.m. to 11 p.m. 3500-131 ke gone go ene go roka re letsa ka teng wa khela 3500-131 re letsa da
The DUMA FM talk line. 3500131.
Or you can also let your fingers do the talking on our SMS line 166161616. Hoza, send us a WhatsApp voice note to
6281885.
Moletsa mo se amo 16616 o go setsa go goroga ka kwano wa re nna tota I'm living with people who are rough and aggressive. They never admit to their wrongs, and most of the time I end up being the one who is apologizing. Me, in actual fact, ke se phoso. This depresses me a lot. Hona le mongwe ke o mo mogaleng. Duma FM dumelang? Duma. Shapuze.
No, ke tsone. Ne ke re ke ga go lennyana go ka.
Erra.
Gore a go bona re la le bua le bua.
Erra.
Re go la re buta ka rata go ga tseng go tia. Ile phena go ba tse ke go tsa mo mo go tia menga gore a re mo go tshentsha a lebile gore go hetela go itshwara ba go lebile ka ha tsa ka teng.
Yeah.
Na go tseng ba ipana go tsana ga parlamenteng. Ma parlamente bo tse ba le teng le tsa botona. E be bela a nna la ba ka folla ba mota dipotso ka go gore le ha parlamenteng a le ke mmere kwa.
Thank you, Buru. Thank you, Khoni. Here's a WhatsApp voice note on our SMS, on our WhatsApp line 76281885.
Hello, DUMA le kae? Tota
Reteng.
bua yo tota. Ga o le motho o tshwanetse gore o retse batho motho mongwe diphoso tsa gago ska na o inela ga ba tshwanele go nne lose and win o teng bua nnete a re gakolane la ke a ka bua ko malapeng a lehatshe kana eng re tshwanetse re gakolane bua boammaaruri e seng sepe gape.
Wyllie, potso e ne ke bonagala on the SMS line gore o tshela jang le batho ba e leng gore they are aggressive.
Ke mo utule motho description ya hang that description what came into my mind as she was explaining and describing that was narcissistic personalities. A narcissist will never admit that they are wrong. Rather, they will turn things around and make you to believe that you are the one who is wrong. They will gaslight you and make you feel guilty even when you are not wrong till you apologize for their wrong. They will turn the thing around, like say because no le ka go expressa gore sa si dirang kana sa si buang ga sa siam. After beating you up, they'll turn around and say it's your fault. If you didn't say 1 2 3, I wouldn't have beaten you up.
Yeah,
You wouldn't have been beat. This is all you're doing, and then you end up actually really believing that you are the wrong one at wrong.
Yeah.
And it's obviously affecting her to the point where it will lead to her many a times in when things are not going right, staying quiet, becoming passive and submissive to that.
Yeah.
I would say if you live in an environment that is toxic and in families that are toxic, in relationships that are toxic, where you are made to believe that you are wrong all the time, even when you are right. When somebody is wrong, they want you to feel guilty for the things that they've done. They're turning things around and manipulating you. Then it's unhealthy environment.
yeah.
I'll say the family needs family therapy, where with an independent, objective person who will not be taking sides with anybody, who will listen and help the family to heal and to look at where those issues could be emanating from.
Yeah.
Because at times you find that those kind of behavior patterns runs in families because behaviors are learned, whether passive, aggressive, or assertive, are learned behaviors. And then they're linked to the personalities. And then they become part and parcel of who we are, to the point where eventually family. So she also needs help because it's like she's being abused. You're living in a toxic, abusive environment. She needs help to be assisted through counseling to come up with coping strategies where when you live with people who are narcissistic, no matter what you do, they will never change. They don't easily change. You can butt your head against that. And then you don't point it out to them to say, you are narcissistic, you are whatever personality. That doesn't help them to create awareness and to change their personalities or their behavior.
DUMA FM, dumelang? Emma, ke gone mo DUMA? Emma? Re teng mme le kae le ka agela kgaitsedi ke ga ya rema?
Eka dikgang tsa lona.
Emma?
Ke diratile tota motho ga o ka dumela mo ga o le motho o gatelelang fa ke buse maske ke kgone go wela sentle ga o le motho o gatelelang o bo dumela gore o ta gatelelwa le wena yo o gatelelwa mo tswa setšhaba o tlo tshela bokete dumela gore o ta gatelela motho jaaka mme wa sa tswa go bua gore motho o gatelelang a ba ra go dirile selo o bo o dumela le wena wa admita gore nya ke ta renta ke dumelegela like what I'm saying now, I'm married then the husband will say no if when I'm sick or on my period pains or whatever he will try to use me by force he will say I'm using you by force abahela akupetsa abantirisa then morago tsara ha no sa gana ka beke sa go petsa ha no sa gana ka beke sa go dirisa wa bona kgang e be re nyata ke bona go rona le bokatelo
Emma re mo gaitse
ke nya gago I earn my money in my business gona le madi a nka ikamogedisang ka itela mo beke then he will force to open the bag ga ke gana ka beke o tsa beke la ga kgagona just because I married you I have been a cop. How would the Arinia we tell I've been a cop? Young what's a government to get a police and I'm to tell another sort of Ganamoto similar than Wena. When I go Hakamale, we do win. I don't work around you. You better also tell him what I saw. Get some of your motor, so that you only have below the Masai. Ugo patero sa ugo di jacket draga kandidi to hello wishes and meta me ta ha go duro ta go ja ta ha o re no selo ja bo khoba presenta ro sai jo ke pota kai ke poti lo ko hile ko ya no bana ba sila gore kana ka ngwetsela nna ke pege di bose ke tsoka pele ha o bula le ba twa tsota go itana kana ba ke no ntse ke botho mo pelo I'm so happy to tell me about Mickey to my one little parliament. One and what I put over and to Hatella or Wyllie. More than our house like our Puluka. How got Sama, Uturo Musaka to take a time. Home to go from the Savagate. Give back a little to put you who make us how against them at figure ladies. And the day tomorrow. Avan tarik awara kala keki kito ko itsa sa mama to uti la kayo no ikilo itulu leke mama tungan aba sa la sila ko nya sa ma ke ada kala awara ka bo jalo an se ke ba sa suntai di sem mo mu ko tri tuse har ri ta mo ko na le ru tu na to le ri tu se tsanya am
We need a number.
at all
ke tse
We need a number.
me wa ka kopa ke kopa gore ke go letse ga re fetsa hana ke tsere mogala ga go ke tla ka tswetswe kopa gore
tla go letsa le wena for counseling and re be re go golaganya le ba ene gore ba dila di issues tsa gender based violence because o ka re go tlhokana le tshireletso gape to protect your life no re ta go no Emma, it's painful. It's
Memaka,
painful. We
thuso yotlhe,
understand. It's
thuso yotlhe.
painful. We'll do our best to assist. We'll do our best to help. It's a toxic environment. Sounds like it's
re tla go tshwara me wa ka ne emma
Thank
tla dira
you
jalo
so much.
Wyllie a so re be khutlo teng gone fa yeah.
In conclusion, we are aware of the lady that just broke down. I believe she's not the only one. There are a lot of relationships and marriages out there, and women out there, and children out there. I know our First Lady is committed to dealing with issues like this and addressing issues like this. The same things we should be addressing, we are the ones who are perpetrating them. If one were served as a law officer, you would say you wouldn't expect this kind of behavior, but unfortunately it's happening to her, who says to me how many others out there that are experiencing this heartache, this pain. We do our best to ensure that she gets help, because assertive people do not treat women the way I see issues coming out in our country.
Are you mo biking yetla ma Wyllie?
Yeah.
I'm not okay. I'm
Yeah.
not okay.
Yeah, it is well.
Emotionally and physically in sync was brought to you by Ministry of Youth, Sports and Culture, MySec, and Botswana National
It's so
Youth
sad.
Council, BNYC.
All right. Are be khutlo teng gone hana ya gompiro ya youth cafe are be khutlo teng gone hana re tla kopana gape mo biking e tlang ke bidwa Thabiso Tshwenyana sarane Jesu.